With Suicide Squad Killer Justice League not far from launch, there's only one question on everyone's mind. Who should I main? Well, in this video, I'm going to do a deep dive into all 4 launch characters: Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark, to help you decide who's right for you, looking at their playstyles, traversal, melee, and build potential. Now, this video is by no means saying that you're locked into a single character, quite the opposite. While you're playing solo, you can freely switch between any character in your squad, at any point. If you're in a group, you can even play whichever character you like, even if your friend is playing the same character. But let's be real, you'll have a favourite. We'll all have a favourite. That one character that's your go-to, the first character you pick when you log into the game, and that character is who this video is about. In Suicide Squad, each character has a very different feel, from the way they handle to the weapons they have access to. But that's not to say these 4 characters don't fall into a specific role, with there being so many ways to build your character. So let's get started with my boy, this guy right here, Deadshot. Deadshot is the group's marksman with access to sniper rifles, pistols, and assault rifles. He favours range, using his jetpack to stay above the action, shooting down on the enemy with huge crits and headshots. For his melee, he uses his signature wrist cannons, giving him a bit of an edge on the rest of the team when it comes to proccing some of the game's melee-based systems, like juggling for 100% crit chance or shield harvesting. For his traversal, Deadshot uses a jetpack, which lets him gain some height, giving him the best angle for a shot. With his jetpack, Deadshot has a few different controls. He can obviously go straight up, move forward, backward, and side to side, and he also has the afterburner, which uses up his traversal bar faster, but gives his jetpack a huge burst of speed. But if you find you're burning through your traversal bar too fast, you can let off a burst of steam with a kickstart, slowly descending, but as you slowly descend, your traversal bar will recover. Once this is done, you can have another burst forward. You can only do this once per flight, but it does give you that bit of extra distance. You can also hover in midair by aiming down sights while you're up there. When it comes to his special attacks, we have the traversal attack and the suicide strike, each character having their own particular flavour of these. For his suicide strike, Deadshot puts his wrist cannons to good use, with style and some pretty sweet dance moves. Every character can do the suicide strike, doing massive damage to each target, but they all have a bit of a twist that makes it their own. For Deadshot, after doing a suicide strike, he makes all nearby enemies more susceptible to critical hits for a short period of time. Then we have his traversal attack, the fuel dump. Deadshot uses his backpack to come down on top of groups of enemies, letting off a massive burst big enough to clear a rooftop. His 3 talent trees are Tools of the Trade, Locked and Loaded, and Fly Like a Bullet. Each of these lean into different areas of building your character, like increasing his firearm and crit damage when he hits 40 combo plus, or increasing his shield harvest chance by 10% and giving him a chance to auto-reload his weapons on a kill. For full breakdowns of the character's entire skill tree, I'll be following up this video with a series of character profiles, really diving deep into each character and their skill trees, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss them. Next, let's move on to a character that right now seems to be a bit of a fan favourite: Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn is scrappy, unhinged, and a circus-like acrobat who makes use of pistols, SMGs, and heavy weapons. She uses her grappling hook to swing around the map, dangling from her drone while gunning enemies down with a minigun about her size. For her melee, she uses a baseball bat or mallet for a rough, blunt melee attack. Harley has procured herself a bat drone and a grappling hook, which she uses to get around the map. There's a few things you can do with Harley's grapple. First, as you'd expect, she can swing using the grappling hook with the bat drone to help swing in midair. She can swing multiple times, with there being a cooldown bar that refills as you swing. When you swing and release, you will see the cooldown bar start to fill. Once it's full, you can then swing for a second time. But she can do much more than just swing. Just like Batman in the Arkham games, Harley can grapple up to ledges and rooftops. As you reach the top of the rooftop, you can either mantle up or hit the jump button just as she reaches the rooftop, and she will fling herself past the ledge, throwing herself forward and resetting her swings. This means as Harley, you can swing twice, grapple launch yourself from a ledge, then swing 2 more times. Effectively meaning Harley is the only character who can theoretically travel the entire map without touching the floor. For her suicide strike, she unleashes a fury of blows with her bat, doing a huge amount of damage to a single target. Plus, Harley's suicide strike kills have a chance to drop shield pickups for every player in the squad. And for her traversal, she has the grapple attack, slamming down with a massive mallet. Harley's 3 talent trees are Thrills and Kills, Meet My Mallet, and One Woman Show. Throughout Harley's skill trees, there are talents focused on grenade damage, melee knockback, and shield and health regen. Again, I'll have a full breakdown of her talent trees coming very soon. Okay, Captain Boomerang, what a guy. Captain Boomerang has to be my favourite character in every cutscene he's in.
Yeah, looking forward to killing the Justice League and all, but well, you know, these guns are a bit shit. No offense.
Boomer darts around the enemy using SMGs, sniper rifles, and shotguns. To play Captain Boomerang almost feels like teleporting around, zipping long distances and blinking up close before volleying an enemy into the air, finishing them off with a shotgun blast. It's no secret that for his melee, Captain Boomerang likes to use a knife.
That's not a knife, that's a spoon.
All right, you win. I see you've played knifey spoony before.
No, of course he uses his boomerangs. This feels great, with them having a little bit more range than Harley's bat or Shark's cleavers, but not quite the same range as Deadshot's wrist cannons. His boomerangs actually feel the easiest to use in-game for the juggle mechanics, where you can juggle an enemy up into the air and get a 100% crit chance for a short time, which of course is great for a character using shotguns and SMGs. For his traversal, Boomer uses boomerangs combined with the Speed Force Gauntlet, which allows him to tap into the Speed Force for short bursts of speed. He travels by throwing out his boomerang and then ironically sending himself to the boomerang instead of it returning. There are a few different ways you can use this gauntlet. First, you will throw the boomerang a long distance, allowing Captain Boomerang to follow, essentially ending up wherever you throw the boomerang. But just like Harley's swing, when you arrive at your boomerang's destination, as long as you've not touched the floor, there will be a traversal bar that will refill as you fall. Once it's full, you can then throw a second boomerang. And finally, he also has what I've been referring to as a blink. This is a quick, short burst forward that Captain Boomerang can do up to 3 times. For his suicide strike, he unleashes a rapid burst of knife-like strikes with his boomerangs, and also drops grenade ammo for all squad members. And his traversal attack has him darting around a group of enemies, doing damage to everyone caught in his path. His talent trees are Shoot 'em Up, Boomin' Boomerangs, and Speedsterania, with talents that increase the damage an enemy will take from firearms after a melee attack, 20% shield regen after a suicide strike, and a suicide strike resource build up on crit hits. Plus a lot more to see in these skill trees. Keep an eye out for Captain Boomerang's profile coming soon. And finally, we have the king himself, King Shark. Like I said in my preview of the game, Shark gets to play with all of the fun guns. He gets assault rifles, shotguns, and heavy weapons. In my opinion, these are the 3 funnest weapon types to play by far. Shark is a colossus, barreling and slamming around the battlefield without a care in the world, wielding a huge minigun as if it was a child's toy. For his melee, Shark likes to play with knives, bringing dual combat knives, cleavers, or sickles to the fight. And well, for his traversal, Shark does not need any fancy gimmicks, throwing himself around using nothing more than his own might. While you're traversing the world with Shark, you have a few different buttons to press. He has a long bound forward or a high leap straight up, depending on which button you hold down to charge up before a jump. This stops his traversal from feeling frustrating, giving you a lot more control over where you want him to go. And on top of that, he has 3 quick dashes forward just in case you miss the mark. If it looks like you're going to overshoot where you want to land, you can do a quick descent, slamming straight down on top of any enemies unlucky enough to be below you. His suicide strike is a brutal combo of strikes using his cleavers, more often than not ending up with him biting the poor opponent in half. He also increases the chance of all enemies to be shield harvestable within 20 meters. His traversal attack is the Atlantean Drop, a spinning slam straight down to do damage in a large area. And finally, Shark's talent trees are Firepower, Strength and Dominance, and Power of the Ancients, with talents like all melee hits hitting enemies within 2 meters, but doing 50% less damage, and at a combo of 50 doing 150% more melee damage and 50% extra firearm damage to enemies within 20 meters, or at a combo of 20 plus, getting 15% suicide strike resource refill on kills while airborne. And again, there's a lot more to dig into here, keep an eye out for Shark's profile. As you can see, this group of villains are all very much their own characters, with very different feeling traversal and playstyles. Me, I am a Deadshot main through and through. I will be playing every character to max level, but without a doubt, I'm pretty sure Deadshot will be my go-to for those big crit assault rifle builds. Plus that suit just looks so good. I don't doubt you'll also be playing every character, but who will be your first? As soon as you boot up that game, who are you playing? Let me know in the comments below. I have a lot more Suicide Squad videos on the way, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, it's the one right next to the like button, just so you don't miss any of those uploads in the future. If you want to support the channel, you can join over on Patreon or become a channel member. Links are in the description. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.